So good, so good, so good.
New fall arrivals are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Get ready to save big with up to 60% off Vince, Kurt Geiger London, and more.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
Because there's always something new.
Join the Nordy Club at Nordstrom Rack to unlock exclusive discounts on your favorite brands. Shop new arrivals first and more. Plus, get an extra 5% off every Rack purchase with a Nordstrom credit card. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Optimal Health Daily. Carbs and Athletes, Friend or Foe, by Nancy Clark of nancyclarkrd.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hey there, welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I simply read to you from the best health and fitness blogs for free, and always with permission from the sites, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now on Wednesdays, I like to share a little bit of inspiration with you. So with that, here we go. Quote, "Who's the only person you should be outperforming? Last week's version of you. Comparison is a competition where everyone loses." Peter Economy. Now, today's post is a perfect complement to what I was ranting about on a recent episode. Basically, the importance of carbohydrates when it comes to muscle growth. So before I spoil today's author, Nancy's, points, let's get to today's post as we optimize your life. Carbs and Athletes, Friend or Foe, by Nancy Clark of nancyclarkrd.com. Athletes create many reasons for limiting their intake of seemingly evil carbohydrates. Things like, "I don't like sandwiches. Pasta is so heavy. I'm staying away from gluten. I avoid any foods with added sugar. I prefer to eat 2 veggies at dinner instead of a veggie and a carby food." And the one I most often hear, "Bread is fattening." Anti-carb sentiment has pervaded my entire career as a sports nutritionist. While some fads have come and gone, the "carbs are bad" fad remains ingrained in the brains of even elite athletes. I am, again, encouraging you to reconsider your stance. Despite popular belief, carbohydrates are not inherently fattening. Excess calories of any kind are fattening. Excess calories of bread, bagels, and pasta are actually less fattening than excess calories from cheese, butter, and olive oil. That's because converting excess calories of carbs into body fat requires more energy than does converting excess dietary fat into body fat. That means if you want to be gluttonous, yet suffer the least weight gain, indulge in fat-free frozen yogurt instead of gourmet ice cream. To lessen any confusion, let's clarify what carbs actually are. Carbohydrates include both sugars and starches. Carbs are in fruits, vegetables, grains, and milk in the form of lactose. Sugars and starches all digest into the simple sugar glucose. Glucose travels in your blood and with the help of insulin, gets taken into muscles and stored as glycogen for fuel. Athletes who restrict carbs commonly complain about dead legs. Sugars and starches are biochemically related. For example, an unripe fruit, such as a banana, is starchy. As it ripens, it becomes sweeter. The starch converts into sugar. Similarly, vegetables, such as peas, are sweet when young. Their sugar converts into starch as they mature. All carbs, both sugars and starches, are excellent sources of fuel. Both carby bagels and sugar candy end up as glucose in your blood and feed your muscles as well as your brain. Whether you are a marathon runner or a weightlifter, a carb-rich sports diet with adequate protein can enhance your performance. Quality carbs, such as whole grains, fruits, and veggies, offer abundant vitamins, minerals, and other health-promoting nutrients. Refined sugar, however, offers little nutritional value. Yet, the dietary guidelines say 10% of daily calories can come from added sugar. That's at least 50 grams of sugar for most athletes and allows for some fun foods. Sugar avoiders, please note, the 3 grams of added sugar and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter will not negate peanut butter's health-promoting fiber, protein, and anti-inflammatory fats. Nor will the sugar in chocolate milk diminish its value as a helpful recovery fluid after a hard workout. Please look at the vitamins, minerals, and protein that come along with the added sugar, not just the sugar itself. Sports drinks, gels, and sports gummies are little more than refined sugar. That's not bad. It's exactly what the body wants during extended, hard exercise. Even though refined sugar adds empty calories to a sports diet, athletes need not eat a perfectly sugar-free diet to have an excellent diet. There's a time and a place for sweets. The messages that carbs are inflammatory, fattening, and bad for you are targeted at those who aren't as active but consume excessive calories, commonly from highly processed foods. For those unfit, often unhealthy individuals, excess carbohydrates can contribute to elevated blood glucose, which triggers the body to secrete extra insulin. Consistently high insulin can be inflammatory and lead to nasty health issues. Yet most athletes can handle carbs with far less insulin than the average American, and without carbs causing sugar crashes or weight gain. The most common reason for sugar crashes or hypoglycemia among athletes relates to running out of fuel. The shakiness and sweats are because the athlete did not eat enough carbs to maintain normal blood glucose levels, and the brain has to demand a quick fix, which is sugar. One marathoner credited the sugary gel he took at mile 16 to cause him to crash. More likely, he needed more than just one gel to meet his energy needs. For those that are athletic who routinely train hard 4 to 6 days a week, carbs should be the foundation of each meal. The International Olympic Committee's recommendations for a performance diet include far more carbs than many athletes consume via fruit, salads, and cooked veggies. Baseline targets for a 150-pound athlete are 375 grams of carbs per day for about 1 hour of moderate exercise, or 450 grams of carb per day for 1 to 3 hours of endurance exercise, and 525 grams of carb per day for more than 4 or 5 hours of extreme exercise. This comes to about 100 to 150 grams of carb per meal, which equates to about 400 to 600 calories of grains, fruits, or veggies per meal. If your daily menu lacks starchy foods, experiment with adding grains to each meal and snack. You just might discover how much better you can feel and perform. You just listened to the post titled Carbs and Athletes, Friend or Foe by Nancy Clark of nancyclarkrd.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. One thing I love about Indeed is how it speeds up hiring. When I've hired in the past, the process was overwhelming, and I wish I'd used Indeed. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. I think today's author, Nancy, very clearly answered the question posed in the title of her post. Carbs and athletes, friend or foe? I think very clearly carbs are friends. Now, Nancy said something else that was really important. Nancy said that when we hear about carbohydrates being inflammatory, fattening, or bad for us, it's often based on highly processed sources of carbohydrates. So these would be foods like pastries, candy, and regular sodas. When we look at studies on less processed carbohydrate-rich foods like whole grains, beans, and lentils, we see the opposite is true, meaning whole grains, beans, and lentils, for example, are actually anti-inflammatory. They're not fattening and really good for us because they reduce disease risk. And these benefits are not just for athletes. These benefits apply to everyone. So if most of the grains we eat each day come from whole sources, and we aim to consume 5 to 9 combined servings of fruits and vegetables each day, we'll likely reduce our risk for disease, feel better, and improve our athletic performance. All right, that'll do it for another episode of OHD. Thank you so much for being here and listening every day. Thank you for sharing this show with someone. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And of course, I'll see you back here tomorrow with another post and where your optimal life awaits.